What is up, feather fluffers? We're just two toucans with two tall cans who can rant because we got two tall cans. And in this corner, on this side of the table, coming at you with tall cans in both grips and a mouth you just would wish would quit. It's Jeremy. That's right. And on the other side of the table, bringing deep thoughts and reason, and who are we kidding? If it wasn't for him, you'd be leaving. It's
JD.
And on this episode of Toucan Rant, we are going to hop on a jet plane and go to the sweet, sweet island of Japan for some manga at your ass. We are going... Was that Western? Western style comics. Nope. I fucked that one
You're
up.
the one written all this crazy ass
I didn't
shit.
write that part. I just said we're going to the sweet, sweet island of Japan for manga. This is your home turf. What do we got on the docket tonight, sir?
It would be Gantz Omnibus number 3.
Yes, motherfucker. It is Gantz Omnibus number 3.
And I've been waiting for 2 fucking weeks to talk about this shit.
Let's back this train up. You're probably missing us a week. Actually, who are we kidding? No, you're not. You're not listening.
When you're doing the backlogs, you'll be wondering what happened.
Due to a case of mild depression and a snowstorm, I said, fuck it, I'm not doing nothing. Don't want to see nobody, don't want to talk nobody. Because I get in those moods once in a while. And was a dumbass, because then I read Gantz and was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you should have been reading it the whole time. I was waiting for a text from you.
Oh, see, but I wanted to text you so bad on this one, but I'm like, this is too good. This is way too fucking good.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to read it like as soon as possible.
And
I wanted to bring it over for you to read, but you're like, no, we'll just do number 2. Do number 2. It's too much reading. Took me all a week to read this, and you probably read this one in one sitting.
The other one I read in 2 sittings, to be honest with you. I don't think I said over a week. I think you wanted to drop... I finished the second one. We did the podcast, and then you were like, oh, is this a combination of 2 and 3? We didn't do Omnibus 2 yet.
We talked about it.
A little bit?
A little bit. We got more on like a rant about...
you wanted
difference
to like...
between Western and...
Yeah, you wanted to like shoehorn
Eastern.
it into last week's comics. Okay, so... Finally read Gantz number 3. Took me a couple weeks, but I read it this week. It's fresh in my mind. Holy fucking shit.
Right?
Holy fucking shit.
How many of those people did you think were actually going to die?
None. But I am also very, very versed in the Western comic style. So I have to, like, the one thing I wanted to ask is how does the author kill off 1, 2, 3? 3! Like, pretty fucking pivotal main characters. 2 of which you were actually forming an emotional connection with. And might I say, it's like kill, done, nothing.
Yep, just completely obliterated.
Yeah. What's the dude's name? It's not Kato. It is Kato. Well, Kato's the chick.
No,
Kato's
Kishimoto is the
yes.
chick.
Kato and Kishimoto, done.
Yep.
Done. And there was one other one that like was kind of hanging out with them too, right?
Yeah, the pretty boy. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
Sadako. But that was a nice little end to their arc. They actually finally came together.
But here's my deal. And I don't get it. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I fucking loved it. But Kato and Kai were like, that's how this whole fucking thing started.
Yeah.
And over the course of, I don't know how many issues are in an omnibus. I'm sorry.
It's like 30.
Okay, so in 30. So for 60, let's call it 65. No, I'll even go 70. 10 in a trade. Because there's 3 trades in there.
The first one starts here at 71.
71? I mean,
it's 11.
He's dead by 75, 76. Him and Kishimoto.
Yep.
And like after that, there is no mention of that. My world was devastated for 5 minutes. I'm just like, wait, what? How does this work?
Yeah, imagine reading this weekly and that happening.
Oh my god, dude. I don't think I could imagine it.
Yeah, considering like Western comics, something happens and you got a month, but its resonance kind of just doesn't linger as long. Like, we'll interweave a bunch of shit. Like, in X-Men, they kill Professor X.
Okay, so like I knew you wanted to talk about that.
Just where I am, they have
I can't. I kind of
X-Force #1.
Well, no. I'm nothing really happens further with that, other than like from House and Powers, like they have this resurrection thing. The only problem is he was the keeper of Cerebus or whatever.
Yeah. He was doing all the backup files, pretty much.
You know what? We're getting too far off topic here. I want to talk Gantz. So,
Okay.
you in the Western comics, you get like Professor X. Like even though like that was kind of shocking, like he's gonna come back at some point, right? I mean they've killed.
I don't know. Everyone seems
characters.
pretty salty about it.
Oh really?
In X-Men 2, everyone seemed a bit depressed about it.
So,
what's his name? Magneto is like gonna start some Apocalypse is doing his own shit, but not related to.
So why did you bring that up as an example?
It's the most current thing I read.
Okay.
And it was more or less because it was kind of bullshit that they did it in X-Force, and then it just comes up again in X-Men #2. But
Yep.
if you weren't reading X-Men, or if you weren't reading X-Force, and then they're like, oh, hey, by the way, Charles died in this other issue. Sorry for not telling you that.
I told you I was kind of pissed about how those were all interlinked. But I would almost argue that is a bad example because, like, Western comics does not kill main characters off. Like,
Ever. They killed...
They do.
They killed Wolverine. They killed Logan for a while.
yep, and they killed Superman.
And they killed Alfred.
And they killed Alfred.
Who's
and we
gonna
don't
be
know
dead.
what's...
He's gonna be dead now.
Yep, okay. But, like, how
the
many
next
issues
year.
happened?
And all that. 80 years worth.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Batman.
Okay, so, like, this is what I don't understand. 70-some issues, 2 main characters dead. Like, comic history, like, they don't really kill characters. They hadn't really killed characters for a really long time, and now it's like, I want to call it a gimmick, but I don't think that's a good word.
No, it's definitely a gimmick.
Okay, so you agree?
It's like, oh, who dies this episode?
Okay.
In Western comics.
I mean,
guess who's back?
Here's a great example. They killed Damian in Batman New 52, right? Yeah. Batman
Was
Inc.
it?
It was Batman
Inc. It wasn't Snyder's
Okay,
run.
sorry. Batman Inc. They kill Damian, but he's not really dead. It turns out he like faked his own death and is still there. So they don't ever really kill characters, and like I shouldn't say they don't mention it because Kai does think like, are they in like an alternate Gantz due to the
Well, no, that's like a big question that they started raising in this arc, especially with the introduction of that priest dude who's saying that this is all a purgatory. It's a test to see if you're really ready to go to nirvana, and everything is just physical attachments derived from the mind, and you gotta overcome it. Which is really fitting considering they're fighting a bunch of Buddhist statues. That was a nice touch. So, do you think this is, like, what's your opinion on this? Is it a real thing that's going on, or they're in the afterlife?
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I've had a lot of questions about this. My personal thing is it's almost like Saw. It's some weird fucking dude that has the power. Well, okay, so it's like Saw to the nth degree. Like, Saw was this dude that fucking did puzzles because he was dying, and yeah, I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm not gonna go deep dive into that, but
don't watch it. It's bad.
Yeah, I think it's some like weird, like there's a dude in that ball.
Yeah.
I think he's some fucking weird dude. Like,
No, man, he's just like a computer.
no, hold on. I think he's like dead, but not dead.
Just like all these people? Or are they alive?
Yeah. Well, arguably they're alive. Or this is something I've always wondered. When you die, do you just like continue living your life as if you were still alive, like in this dreamlike state? But it's real to you, but it's not real to everybody else. Like every real world, you're dead. It's almost like the multiple Earths thing in DC. Like, all of a sudden like you and your body continue on, but it's like different, and you're not really in reality.
So this is a joining of all these people's subconscious, unconscious minds, or is this just all through the lens of Kai? This is how Kai thinks the afterlife is.
Oh damn! I didn't think of that.
Because
I was thinking very, very like strict, like the dude in the ball. He's got something to do with it. I don't care what anybody says. I'm gonna go with that dude in ball, man.
He just seems like another unwilling participant in the whole thing. He just.
So do you think this is like somehow like Kai's journey? Okay, so what is he Buddhist?
Who,
How
Kai?
do they?
Kai?
Yeah,
No, just that. Well, a lot of people in Japan like believe in the tenets of Buddhism and Shintoism.
Well, I just like maybe this is his journey to quote unquote heaven or nirvana or whatever it is that they believe in. I'm not well enough versed in it.
That's
But
lame.
like there's some religions where there's like these trials and things that you go through before you got to make the right or wrong choice. Hellblazer, the new Hellblazer, fucking check that shit out. You'll realize it when you fucking read it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
but
another
like,
motherfucker who dies all the time.
There's choices he's making. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I really like that idea. Because there's a lot of like moral choices contained within that.
No, fuck that. It's a purgatory test. This is all really happening. The question is why it's happening and who's controlling it. And to what end. And why
what do
they're
you mean
using
a purgatory test? What do you mean fuck that? That's what I just said. It's his journey to heaven or hell.
but it's not. Oh, Constantine?
No,
This?
Gantz!
No, yeah, and I'm saying fuck that notion because that's lame. We don't want religion in
So
this.
how is it a purgatory test? I'm confused.
It's not.
you
were
just said it's like a purgatory test.
No, it's not. I'm asking you if you think it's like a purgatory test based on the things that you were stating previously.
And you're saying fuck that. What?
It's an actual war that's going on. There's soldiers fighting the aliens for some reason that are actually existing in tandem with humanity, but we can't see them on a regular basis.
Maybe this ties in with One Punch and the monsters, the Monster Corporation, the Monster.
Oh, they're Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
The non-Pixar version.
Holy shit! I did not make that connection until you just said that. That's fucking awesome.
The Monster Association in One Punch Man.
Yeah. No, when I was reading it, I took it as real life, and then all of a sudden you asked me that question, and I'm like, wait, maybe it is a journey to purgatory.
No, I was saying it's an interesting concept that they brought up by introducing that priest and then them having to fight Buddhist statues, which is like causing that weird doubt.
Okay, maybe I'm dumb, drunk, or stoned, but maybe I didn't get that because I was dumb, drunk, or stoned when I read it, because I didn't connect the priest to the Buddhist statues. I didn't even notice that at all. I thought the priest was interesting and thinking that he thought it was a religious thing. I personally, I don't know. I don't know. You're fucking confusing me now. Oh, goddamn.
Well, no, it's just like so you are actually set on thinking it's a journey through purgatory, or was that just okay?
No, that was just a rant all of a sudden that came to me when I was drinking two tall cans.
So do you think they're actually alive or are they actually dead? Another question would be, what you watch Star Trek, right?
Yep.
So when an individual,
limited,
you understand the idea of teleporter, the teleporting thing, to beam me up.
Yep.
So when they get beamed up, are they still them? Like the original copy, or are they a clone or like a fax machine?
Never thought about that. What do I think in this current instant?
Yeah, because that's the thing that happens constantly in this. These people die and they get teleported, digitally reconstructed.
Back to Gantz.
Or organically reconstructed to the Gantz room, and then they get sent again with all their new weaponry and everything, their mission stated for them, to another location.
Based on all the in-between stuff that this dude writes about, he's one fucked up individual. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't fucking know. That's why I asked you, when does the Gantz Omnibus number 4 come out? Because, I gotta know what the fuck happens. They fucking killed 2 main characters. He goes in, fights by himself, gets his ass kicked, he loses, right? So he finds this is the interesting concept to me. He dies, right?
When he fights the midget guy,
Yep.
he doesn't die.
Does he? How? Oh no, the time runs out.
The time runs out. He gets teleported when he has pretty much a torso and a head.
And he goes back to 0.
So fucked up. Yeah.
So the question
he loses all
is,
his points.
so the question is, does Kato and Kishimoto, did they die before the time limit ran up? Because they were pretty close on that,
They
too.
never came back in the teleporter, so that means they died. Based on the current rules that we have.
How the fuck did he get in the teleporter all by himself? Like, that's the other thing that boggled my mind is why is it just him?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Every fucking time.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing that I was thinking about. I think that the Gantz ball only it sets a timer when the mission is supposed to start whenever these aliens are invading or about to go hostile. And it has a time window of maybe half an hour to an hour where anyone who dies of unnatural causes gets teleported to this room. Because if it was just everyone who died that day or whatever, there would be a ton of people who died just by old age or sicknesses. But Kai and Kato, they got hit by a train saving an old guy. But they saved the old guy, so the old guy doesn't come. Kishimoto slit her wrist, so if you commit suicide, you end up there.
Yep.
That grandma, that little kid, Pretty Boy, and Sadako, they all died when they got into a car accident by a truck driver.
Yep.
All those Yakuza, gangster, thug wannabes, they got their asses stomped in.
Yeah.
Which was one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this is, like, every time you have a question, it gets answered relatively quick. Like, Kai has a suit, and he's running around with it, right? So you know that you can use this technology outside of the Gantz created missions.
Yep.
And then it was like, well, what if you took one of those guns? And then right after I had that thought, they had the gangsters running around shooting the guns.
Yep.
And, like, well, that seems overpowered as hell. You could just run around killing everyone, but you can only do it a certain amount of times, and then your fucking brains blow up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this... Yeah. That's kind of creepy about this book, too. Like, it kind of reads your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
that might just be good storytelling, where it's like, it's like seeding these ideas for you, and then when you ask them, the author's, hold up, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, that's a valid point as well.
No, because that's how plot holes are created and things, and everyone bitches about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I said he was reading our mind, but I think I was trying to say it.
Maybe he's, like, prefacing your mind, like, building it.
Well, the foreshadowing.
Yeah.
You know. We got this idea. Boom. Got this idea. Boom. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty invested in this. Like, seriously can't wait for the next one to come out. Because, every time, and, like, the first, I don't know how many fucking, did you get the first, second, and third omnibus?
Yeah. Well, not technically.
No, but you had the first 3 trades, and the first 3 trades end neat, clean, or is it 3, 4? I don't know.
3.
And neat, clean, boom. You got a box, you got the preface, like, you're like, wow, this is fucked up. But now, like, then Omnibus 2. Fuck, I need to read Omnibus 3. Gets that in Omnibus 3. Fuck, I need to read the next one. Like, it really keeps you wanting more. It's a hard book to put down. Yeah. And, like, again, with the manga, one, I think the translations are pretty funny. There's some pretty fucking funny shit in there. I don't have any direct quotes, but, like...
Oh, save them for next time when you read 4. I'd
like
to...
Yeah, no, I really should, because, like, there are some pretty good one-liners in there, but, like... fuck, what was I saying? It really leaves you wanting the next one. Like, it's a very hard book to put down.
I've noticed that about a lot of manga. It just, like, the pace just keeps going.
And there's enough dialogue to keep it going, but there's enough just, like, straight, like, page flipping panels. Like, you don't feel like you're slogging through something.
Oh, yeah, like me trying to get refreshed on this, I just have to flipped through it and I got the entire gist. When we do Doomsday Clock, my
Yeah,
speed reading,
oh my
my
gosh.
speed reading is still 10 minutes.
Well, and even still, like, you
And
feel
you
like
miss
you're
everything.
almost, like, it's almost like slogging through it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I don't want to knock the Western comics writing, but, like, there is some stuff that is very fucking tedious. I really loved House and Powers of X. I really like this new X-Men reboot, but, like, it is...
It's a lot of words.
Yeah, it's tedious. And at that point, like, I almost feel like, all right, just get rid of the pictures and just give me the words. You know what I mean? Like, there's this balance I feel like I'm coming to where I'm like, if you're going to get that intricate, let me imagine it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, that's what's good about the ends of Doomsday Clock. They got those like 4 or 5 pages of just dialogue, and you have to piece together everything that's going on. Not saying that the imagery that's being produced in the rest of Doomsday Clock is not well done and fun to read, but yeah, it's just a lot of talking for talking's sake. It seems.
That's funny
Like
you
X-Men,
say that.
Like X-Men was a pain. A
Yeah.
lot of those.
Yeah.
It's like we're talking about a whole bunch of shit that doesn't really matter and isn't doing much.
At the moment. Wait, are you talking House and Powers or are you talking about the reboot?
The reboot. I think House and Powers probably had it too, somewhat.
Yeah.
It's like, just get on to the cool stuff.
But it's hard to do that when, like, you're trying to set the stage for everything to come forward. Like, you got to admit, like, you want to know what, quote-unquote, Apocalypse with the symbols is going to do.
Just, like, that hurt my head reading that issue, X-Men 2, at the end of that. Like, I don't know if whatever they're called, Akaroko, those demon summoning things, if that's a thing in the X-Men universe it is.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know either.
Because that was
This
tripping
is
me the fuck
all
out.
fucking new to me.
And they were trying to do their explanation of magic or whatever, like the 4 points or something, and then they connect to an X. I'm not saying I'm a master at the occult or anything, but like that hurt reading too, because I just didn't understand it. I understand the above, so below notion, but the other stuff, why they think an X is the proper symbol to channel energies, I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, there was... Again, that is something, like, you slog through. And like I said, like, I feel like I've read some pretty complex stuff, and I understand it, or understood it, and, like, am able to create thoughts and ideas based off of it. But, like, I don't know if it's the visual medium with it, where I'm just like, just get on with it. Like, this should be fun. This should be boom, 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 boom. Like, the action. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's one of the things. Like, X-Force, I was expecting there to be action. And there was a lot of action.
There was.
And
Don't know if I like Young
Marauders?
Cable, but okay.
Yeah.
Marauders. I like Marauders.
Was Marauders the one with the Psylocke or Psylocke? No, Marauders is the kiddie pool one. Fallen Angels.
Kitty Pride.
The Fallen Angels one. Like,
Yes.
I felt like each one got progressively better.
Yep.
That first X-Men was meh.
Yep.
Marauders and Excalibur were meh. But then X-Force, like, started picking up, and Fallen Angels was really good. The only thing I didn't like about Fallen Angels was the art.
Ooh.
Was not good.
Okay, well, second Fallen Angels definitely takes it up a notch. Like, that was the most recent thing I read, and I enjoyed that. That started to get crazy. I like Psylocke. There's a couple other people in there that I enjoy as well. I did not like young-looking Cable. That's pissing me off.
Yeah, what happened? Why is he young?
Well, he's a time traveler, so I mean,
yeah, get that. Oh, and he's whose son is he? He's Cyclops's and
Yep.
And Jean Grey?
Yep.
Oh, they are married in this?
I don't know. That's a long-standing thing.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's X-Men history.
Oh, is she
if you want to hate on me, you can.
Is she
at
shacking up
Rant.
at gmail.com? Is she shacking up with Wolverine now, too? Because I don't know if you read any of those articles. There's like a whole thing.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, dude. Like, you took all my X-Men number ones, and I'm like, fuck, I got all these number twos coming, and I'm like, I really need to go back. Like, I'm kind of hazy on some of it. Like, that's the problem, too. I love comic books. I do. But I'm, like, really at this point where I'm like, do I just wait for the trade to come out? Because I cannot... It's hard for me to, like, read this, then that, then this, then that, then this, then that, then this, then that, then come back and remember what happened in the previous one leads into this. And X-Men makes it even more complicated because then they're like, all right, number one, number two.
Whoa, Mike down, take a shot.
Number one, number two, gotta remember that.
Watch your hands.
But then there's all these other books that are tying into that. So now you gotta read number one, number one, number one, number one, number one, and then read number two. And then you got to read number two of the next one. And then if you don't remember, then you read number one, number two, number one, number one, number one.
Yeah, I got it.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
need an entire board with lines.
Nuts. Yeah, no,
like
dude, I need
one of those murders.
Pins and fucking yarn and, like, give me a whiteboard, motherfuckers, because... And maybe I'm dumb. I don't know about you, but, like, there are times where I sit down with Batman, I'm like, fuck. Batman.
No, to be
Batman
honest,
is Batman. Batman is its own thing. I don't remember what happened to Batman last issue.
well, I seem to remember what was happening, like, because most comics, they have that notion that every issue could be somebody's first issue, and it also works as a previously on whatever.
Yeah.
To recap you on what's going on.
Marvel does that. DC does not.
Well, the first couple pages are...
Marvel does a better job. Marvel has
that intro page
Yep,
thing.
that intro page is like previously on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but...
Been reading a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy.
But yeah,
sorry.
like, I read, what was it? The Batman's Grave.
Oh, I gave you that?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It was good. I liked it. But I got to read number... That's one, too. Number one came out, and then number two came out. And do you know what I did before I read it? I did not even open the package on number two.
You just reread one?
Reread one, opened up number two, and read it immediately. And it was very enjoyable because I felt like I really knew what was going on. And you know what's crazy?
Did you take those up already?
Huh?
The Batman's Grave? Can I
No.
see? Can I see them? Maybe I'll get refreshed quick.
I forgot. I couldn't tell you what Batman's Grave was even about at this point. I know Alfred's like...
Pretty sure that Bruce is gonna die before he does. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, this is about, like, Alfred fucking preparing the graves of Martha and Thomas Wayne.
That's how it starts, yeah.
Yeah, no, I fucking dug the shit out of that first issue.
Oh, yeah, the dude's, like, cutting off people's faces and wearing them.
Yeah. Huh?
Or he's killing people and sleeping under their beds.
Yeah.
And he wants to cut off Bruce's face.
Yes.
Solid Joker.
Yes.
I liked it because there are a lot more fights. I remember that now, looking through it.
Yep. Well,
Ellis.
No, manga.
Yeah. Well, no, and Ellis is like the only writer who actually does fights, legit fights in his comics, more than a page and a couple panels.
And aliens.
And I hope he
it's
brings.
always
I hope he
fucking
brings aliens into this. That would be awesome.
Well, you got the rest of my stack, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, so you should probably get New Mutants #1 with that same thing. You know they all interlock.
I didn't, but I did get New Mutants #1 with that
cover.
With that cover,
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the nice thing. Like, apparently this isn't too big of a hit. Midtown still had New Mutants #1 for like $3-something cheap.
Oh, nice.
With that.
Nice.
Because I'm like scrolling. I'm like, fuck, I should. Because I was a little low. I try to spend about $20 a week, and I was like at $15-16 this week. And I was like, oh, I'll throw New Mutants #1 in. I was gonna buy 1 and 2. I'm like, if you get #1, you'll be able to find 2 and 3 in the future. Like, I'll get it eventually.
But the way they're interwoven, it seems important to be reading everything.
And here's my dumb ass. I should have read the fucking everyone's. Well, I shouldn't say everyone, but like I try to avoid the what do you call them? The
Solicitations?
thank you. The solicitations, because like I don't want to, like I want to know, but like the other part of me likes surprises, so I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. I just want to know when it comes out. And my dumbass didn't read it to realize like Moira is a very key component to New Mutants, and Moira
that's good.
was like my favorite part of House and Powers.
She was the entire pivotal factor
She's
of that
good
entire
looking.
thing.
She's got this cool fucking reincarnation ability. Like, she basically keeps going back and resetting X-Men, according to the House and Powers of X, like, canon. Like, just keeps resetting it until they can get it right, and then they get Krakoa. But, like, obviously, did X-Force get into how... Oh, yeah. What's his nuts dies. Okay, so, sorry. Like, I have to be careful here, people. He hasn't read everything I've read. Okay, so, like, Charles is dead at the end of X-Force. Like, clearly, Krakoa is not that great. You got Marauders where What's-Her-Nuts can't get through the fucking thing.
Kitty Pryde can't get to the island, which is weird. Doesn't make too much sense. Unless
Are you serious? That makes perfect sense. She's like a shapeshifter. Well, not like a shapeshifter.
Oh, she can travel through
stuff.
Yeah, so
like she tries to get in, but she can't. That makes perfect sense.
Well, no,
to me. I thought that was cool.
That's a nice rebuttal or reversal of her powers. But why is she not? She's a mutant. I thought Krakoa was for all mutants. Why is Krakoa? So she's not a mutant?
That's the question. That question was raised, too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't remember where, but it was raised.
Interesting.
Because at some point someone says all mutants should get in, and then she's like, well, I can't get in. And, like, they want to believe it's her ability, but then there's some question about her, like, upbringing / like, what is she? Is she really a mutant?
She's an X-Men, so she's a mutant.
Is she?
There's weird arguments. I don't know how they work. Like Deadpool, is he a mutant? There's arguments about how he's not a mutant and how he is.
Yeah, that's
and how he is.
Well, I mean, you could argue they're all fucking mutants. Other than Iron Man.
No, because like,
I'm gonna spend money on my shit.
It has something to do with
Look at me typing on my computer.
Well,
don't know why it's that. Why do I have a high voice?
You gotta have the X gene in you to actually be a mutant. But you can have superpowers as they're derived from other sources.
Which is, I think, what they were doing with the Kitty Pryde thing.
Okay, that would make sense then.
But
I don't know
that
history.
made me question. There was something. No, but that's the thing. Like, I don't know that history even fucking matters at this point.
No, it matters a lot.
Okay, so we're kind of shifting from Gantz to X-Men now.
We'll get back to Gantz if you got more about it.
Here's the rest of it. What the actual fuck? Like, I'm pissed. I'm happy. I'm pissed. I'm happy. Like, that book fucked with my head.
Oh, it gets better. See,
how do you know you haven't even read it?
I've read way farther than this.
How?
Online.
Oh.
A long time ago.
Fuck you, dude.
I got like chapter 200 maybe.
Does Kato come back? You know what else was really weird? Sidebar on Gantz, and then we'll get back to the X-Men. I'll end it. Dude likes chicks with really big tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So?
No, it's cool. But like, for such a reserved culture, or what's perceived as such a reserved culture, like, he's very, very candid in his interviews in these, like, end of... What do you call them? Issue? I don't know, like...
Trade?
End of the trade, yes.
Yeah, because each omnibus is 3 trades.
Yeah, okay, so end of the trade shit, like...
It's funny that you read that. I just skip over that.
I want to know about this dude, because, like...
I want content.
He wrote Hen, which was some sort of hentai thing. Then he's, like... pretty fucking sexist about the whole fucking boob thing, but, like, he's he calls out the sex. He calls out the fact that people call him sexist for it, and it actually raises a pretty good fucking point.
I might have to. Was that in this one that he had that, or was that in number 2?
Yeah, it was in one of the things there. It was a pretty good point. Something about how like big boobs is like a guy with 6-pack abs, and there was like a whole argument as to why he was not legitimized, but like it was okay for him to do this, because if the roles were reversed and the same sort of standards were held to those people, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. It was cool.
I read a review by some feminist blog.
Of course you did.
Well, I was just looking up Gantz news and stuff, and this lady was like, "Wow, this comic is really sexist towards women. It depicts all the women with huge boobs and has them in very scantily clad opening intros that don't serve to add anything to the plot whatsoever." But, and they acknowledge it, it's marketed towards boys and men. And the other thing, like, if that's the genre that it's written for, like, I don't think there are many guys going and criticizing romance novels for having guys with 6-packs and, like, studs that are unattainable for most people. Just like these bodies are technically, Mike Down almost number 2, take a shot.
Fuck you.
And she had some, like,
No. I'm telling you, read those in-between things, because she probably read those in-between things and was trying to come up with all the shit.
The arguments to it?
No, because you just fucking nailed every fucking point on the head. First one. What was the first one?
That's written for boys.
Exactly.
Boys
and how they have scantily clad women that have nothing to do with the necessary plot of the story of that arc.
But every single comic has that.
He admits it.
Oh.
He says, "Yup, I draw a woman with big tits on the cover because I like women with big tits."
He draws a couple guys in here too.
It's mostly chicks with big tits.
There was at least one really sexy guy. Like,
mostly chicks with big tits.
Well, I think it's how many? Like, I think 1 out of 90 was a guy.
I got no problem with big tits, so I'm good with it. But second point was the 6-pack abs dude thing. He addresses that too.
Yeah. Well, any comic has that.
Well, no, it's just okay. Well, I'm just saying it's funny how there was a feminist site that fucking wrote. It sounds like they fucking extracted that article at the end of one of those trades and regurgitated it. Just counterpoints to everything. Like word for word, order for order. Because I do remember that shit.
Yeah. Gantz Omnibus Volume 2. Good story, but outdated sensibilities.
You know what? Fuck you. Who gives a flying fuck?
And this is out on Women Write About Comics. Culture doesn't fit in a box, and neither do we.
I wonder what they think of Lost Girls.
I don't know what that is.
That's that Alan Moore really fucked up porno.
Oh,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Yeah, there is relatively little sex in this book, but his presence is still uncomfortable. The two main female characters, Kai Kishimoto and Sai Sakurakura, both get overtly sexual introductions.
Yep.
Kishimoto, who is 15, she looks at, is sexually assaulted within 2 panels of appearing on the book.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she is.
Both Kishimoto and Sai are hyper-sexualized throughout and objectified by most people, even Gantz the Sphere. Large covers have Kishimoto in stages of undress, which is both confusing and annoying.
Hold on. It's not only Kishimoto, but a lot of other random chicks that never even show up in the book.
Yeah. And then she says, even more frustratingly, the female characters are given little to do. Though Kishimoto displays amazing skill in fighting aliens, and Kai Korono, The protagonist just seems to get by on dumb luck more than talent. And Kishimoto has this in abundance, the talent part.
Wait, what? Okay, so what about Lois Lane? She doesn't do jack shit. You gonna get pissed about Lois Lane?
Well,
being basically second fiddle to Superman?
Well, no, they're changing that now in the
I understand that
Lois
now.
Lane and Clark stuff.
Now.
Well,
that's within the past, 3 months. Now.
And then, the thing that she's saying, she enjoyed reading most of Gantz. It was an interesting story, lots of twists and turns. You can't stop reading it. But because of these outdated sensibilities, they took her out of the story too much, so she can't read it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm just gonna say this right now. And this is probably gonna be controversial.
Don't do it.
Okay. So,
don't do it!
So, I don't read I don't read a lot of romance novels. But I can tell you, based on the authors' names, a lot of romance novels are written by women. Right? That's what they want. Okay? Can I get pissed about that? To me...
No, you can't, actually.
Thank you. Okay? Because it's an artistic style.
And your opinion doesn't matter. Because it's not geared for you.
Thank you. Again, there is so much sexism and all this shit. I'm sorry, but some of this shit is not meant for you. This is totally off base, not even a comic. Charles Bukowski's Women. I would not expect any woman to read that and be like, wow, that was really enlightening. That really was great.
I felt very awkward reading that on the plane.
Well, so did I, but I wasn't on a plane, but I felt awkward reading it, but it's relatable from a guy's point of view.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Not everything is meant for you to consume. Perfect example. Let's fucking flip it to something that everybody consumes. Television. Say Yes to the Dress is not for me. A guy with a dick and 2 balls.
What's Say Yes to the Dress?
Oh, it's a wedding thing. I mean, unless you're into that. If you're a guy who likes to dress up as a chick, I'm okay with that. You can relate to that. Not everything needs to be relatable to 100% of the people.
Yeah, that's why they have demographics and screen testings for everything. To, market to the proper demographic, just like ads.
Thank you.
The ads that you get on shows are based on who watches those shows.
So while I respect her right to bash it, you need to, we have yet to review something that is not meant for us. I don't feel. Maybe you do, but I don't. Undiscovered Country, we bashed the fucking shit out of that.
But that maybe wasn't for us. Well, obviously. Well, no, then the argument is if you don't like it, was it for you?
Who published that again?
Image.
Which is
a comic
company,
an independent comic, but they publish a lot of
to adults.
Yeah, but there are tons of books on Image that are geared towards women or men.
No. I'm not talking men and women. I'm talking about just this idea, if you don't fit the demographic. Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about okay, I am talking about that. It was meant for someone like us, adults. Male or female didn't really matter in that aspect. I didn't feel like there was a lot of male or female conflict there. They were both characters. You couldn't relate to any of them. You didn't give 2 fucking shits about any of them. So what does it fucking matter if they're male or female at that point? Gantz. I get it. If you are a sensitive female, a feminist female, you're not going to like that. I totally get that. I respect that.
But there are really strong women.
In Gantz?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucked that she died so quick.
Well,
I mean, she maybe had 10.
Feminists probably would have had a problem with her fucking Kai. When Kai's just you want to.
Oh no, that was one of the things that they brought out.
See, yeah, there you go.
The new female, strong female is introduced, and immediately she has sex with somebody. But
when was this written? When was this written? Recently? No. I'm talking her article.
recently, last year or two.
Okay, 2018. In the world of Tinder and Bumble and all the other fucking bullshit, where men and women swipe right to go fuck each other for a night and go.
That's female empowerment.
That's not okay.
It's female empowerment.
She had a choice.
Yeah.
Kai did not force herself on her.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting sidetracked. This is not Toucan Rants about fucking female fucking bullshit.
Well, it's just Toucan Rant in general.
I love females. I didn't mean female bullshit, but like that whole argument fucking pisses me off.
You're mad at third wave sectionalist feminism. Just so you know.
If that's what they call it, sure.
That's what they're calling it these days.
Like, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Is that wrong of me?
No, I think they're allowed to be talking about that stuff, but people should be allowed to rebuttal their opinions and actually have a conversation, because that's what everybody wants. We want progress past our base old concepts that are outdated and stuff, but you got to come to it on a middle ground and actually debate it, not just scream and rant at each other, even though that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I get it.
But
I do get it.
We're willing to like take other people's opinions. Like I was I watched some video for a video game and was reading the comments, and for some reason it devolved into an argument between two people debating The Last Jedi. And somebody, I don't know how it got there, because the game that they were reviewing was Shenmue 3, which was apparently a really shitty game. But I don't know how somebody made a joke about Star Wars or Rian Johnson, and then the next 20 posts were these two people just arguing back and forth about why The Last Jedi was a bad movie and why it was actually a really good movie if you looked at it for what it was supposed to be. And they actually brought up some valid points about it. And maybe it was just the execution of it not being what you actually wanted it to be that made you unhappy with how it went. But it actually is doing very good character building and has very deep themes. And if you don't understand that, then the movie's not for you. Kind of thing.
Thank you.
But the thing is who's Star Wars for?
Hold on. I want to back that up. Disney, if you're listening, just like Midtown, because you are on top of your shit. I'm shipping my shit now. I'll tell you that. So Disney.
Don't diss the mouse.
I'll diss the mouse.
Don't do it.
Bring back the original fucking canon. There was good shit in there. Dash Rendar, Mara Jade, fucking Han and Solo having two twins. Bring it back.
Han and Solo having two twins.
Oh yeah, Han and Leia. Han and Leia.
No, they don't. They can't make money.
That's why they call this shit Toucan Rant, motherfucker.
They can't make all the money on it. That's why they've.
Why? Oh yeah.
Because they have to pay royalties. That's why they've killed off Luke and they've killed off Han. They erased the EU. They started creating their own new characters, their own new aliens. Extended universe. Oh. Because if
The Empire Strikes Back was amazing.
Yeah, but if you
No, not the movie, but like... Oh, no.
Shadows of the Empire?
Shadows of the Empire, thank you. Sorry.
I would have loved to seen a movie of that.
Fuck yeah, dude! The book was amazing!
Not a movie. If they could have done a TV show of that, like they're doing with The Mandalorian, which is
Did you watch that yet?
No.
I watched, like, some of the first episode at Thanksgiving, like... I asked Stephanie's brother, like, hey, did you watch The Mandalorian? He's like, dude, I have Disney Plus. I've watched, like, everything, all Mandalorian. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. He's like, dude, I'll turn it on. And then, of course, like, as soon as he turns it on, like, I am transfixed. Stephanie's brother is transfixed. Her other brother is transfixed. And then her mom's like, yeah, it's time for Thanksgiving. Let's go eat some turkey and ham. Fuck you, bitch. I'm watching fucking Mandalorian. Click. Turns the shit off. It's time to eat.
No, see, that's
and do you think we turned it back on afterwards? No.
Really?
No.
Oh.
But they were all fucking like, let's drink a whole fucking big bottle of vodka and whatever else. I ended up driving home. It was an interesting ride.
Oh, I can imagine.
Ooh.
We just watched football.
Sober. What?
That's what we do at my sister and her husband's
Well,
house.
yeah, Aaron likes football.
Yeah, but 6 hours of football?
Dude, that's what they do at my grandparents' house.
It's so...
I just didn't go this year.
Huh,
I thought it wasn't our year, because, like, my grandparents were like, you guys get Easter, and then Thanksgiving, and every other year you swap. Okay, cool. So, like, this year, no Thanksgiving. I literally spent Thanksgiving at home. By myself. Well, not by myself. With my kid and my woman. Not a fucking care in the world. Loved it. I suggest you all try it. Just don't go anywhere. Fuck them. Stephanie made a bomb-ass turkey. Bomb-ass potatoes. We're really getting off track here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can deal with the post.
Bring it back.
I don't know what to bring it back to.
Well, we were talking Gantz,
so like,
but we're
yeah,
talking
like,
also X-Men.
My other big question is, what do you think of that one guy who's like, hey, there's this Gantz message board. Have you read about it?
I think he's been in Gantz.
And he got out?
Yeah.
So that's what the points are for?
Well, the one dude kind of foreshadows that if you hit 100 points, you get out. You're done.
Yeah.
I think he got out.
He got out.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because he just brings up the website like, hey, I discovered this website. But like at the same time, like there's also that rule where you can't talk about Gantz.
But if
they're
he was
all
already
kind of scared about it.
But if he was in there and he got out, that chip is removed.
Not necessarily. We don't know that.
Well, if he was in the room, that's
well, like,
what supposes that it is removed.
See, no. It doesn't say that anywhere.
No. That's
you
that's
don't
what
talk
you,
about
that's,
Gantz.
That's what
like
you
the
infer.
First rule of Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club.
Can't talk about it.
Can't talk about Fight Club.
But no.
Say it right.
No. No, it doesn't make sense. If we can't talk about Fight Club, you can't actually talk about it whatsoever. So you shouldn't even be saying it in the first place.
First rule of Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club. First rule of Gantz, you don't talk about Gantz.
Yeah, but if this guy was...
if he was in there, well, he might still fear it. Number one. Number two, if you're in it...
No, he doesn't fear it, though. He brings it up and is talking about it.
He doesn't, though.
He like, goes around it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he's trying to relate to Kai. Because he's like... You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm
Kai,
like doing this weird like...
Kai doesn't bring up
shimmy.
anything about it. He's just like, oh, no, that doesn't exist. That can't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. But the other guy is like insinuating that there is this thing, the black room, the black sphere, and that kind of falls into the same line as talking about it.
But that's what I'm... Yeah.
So if this chip instantaneously detonates, you should technically... Any means that you're using to convey that there is this secret space that you can't talk about it.
I took it
if
as...
it is supposed to be
I
a
took
secret.
it as, are you in Gantz? Me too. Like that type of direct...
He is
right.
He is fighting that guy pretty good, though. He knocks him out of the human shell.
I also thought he was gay for a minute. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, no, they bring that up.
You know what? I really hate that I have to say that. In this world that we are in right now. Anyway.
Well, no. They did that. They did that with the other guy too, the pretty boy.
Yeah, they did.
and everyone's backing it up. Oh yeah, Gantz just calls him homo.
Yep, homo. Yep.
That's outdated sensibility. Got to get with the times. People with a completely different culture than us.
I get it, but I don't. Does that make me like a Luddite?
No, that just makes you a closeted homophobe.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That sounds great.
Or bigot. It's probably all those things.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, asshole.
And a sexist. Oh, that's what people would label you.
Yeah, but...
I would label you as a rational human being.
I just go through the world and I'm like, I don't care. Are you a human? Do we have a connection? Like, I don't give a fuck. If you're gay and you like comics, sweet. I don't care if you're gay. I just care if you like comics.
Yeah. Well, it's fun that you had to preface that with you're gay. As
Okay.
opposed are you a human being? Are you a human being? Do you like comics?
Are you a
cool?
woman? Do you like comics? I like comics. That's all I care about is, do you like comics? Do you like Warhammer? Do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like baseball? Do you like hockey? Do you like... I like lots of stuff. That's all I care about. At the end of the day, like, I really don't give a shit. I've had all sorts of friends.
But you're supposed to give a shit. You're
Why?
supposed to give a shit. Not because that's what you're supposed to do. Because everybody's been excluded. Not all these people have had a voice, and now you have to let them have a voice at the expense.
They've had a voice in my world.
But you're not wearing...
No, hold... That's
third mic 3. Down. Take a shot.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they matter in my world. I listen to them in my world.
But you're not out...
Isn't that enough?
No, you gotta fight for the cause.
Do I have to be the internet?
Yep. You have to be the internet and a person. And actually, by the things that you're supporting, you're actually contradicting.
I have to fight for the cause? I have to fucking fight for my life. I have to fight for my kid. I have to fight for my right to party. Sorry, had to do it. Sorry, had to do it. Beastie Boy reference. But, like, seriously. Oh, my God. This social warrior justice is fucking insane. Why?
Well, you don't actually have to fight it. You just have to say you support it by going on your Facebook and Twitter and saying all the right buzzwords. Cause
why do I have to do that? Well, you're not on any of those things. What do they think of you?
They don't think I exist. It's amazing.
Well, okay, Mr. Tinfoil Hat. Like, I'm getting there, but, like, I don't get it. I don't post anything either way.
It's just that people want to be on the right side of history when it comes down to it. So when the axe gets dropped, they were saying that they agreed with it the entire time. When you talk about them doing it on these websites, though, and YouTube and all that stuff, they're just saying all the right buzzwords to stay in the good graces of the people who distribute the stuff so they can have access to it. So they can say reviews.
So I probably sound like a comic skater right now. Because I'm just like, just write. Just give me something that's good.
Yeah, well...
I don't care. Like, again, I don't care if people are gay in the story. I don't care if they're women in the story. It doesn't matter. Black, white, yellow. Well, yellow's probably not nice, but, like...
That's
Asian,
racist.
Like, yes, I'm sorry. Schmidt J1987 at outlook.com. You can hate me, but, like,
you don't give out personal information like that to the...
seriously, like, don't understand it. No, seriously,
I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna remove that. No, man, you'll get you'll get doxxed and get hate threats.
That's fine. Like, I don't understand it. I don't hate people. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. If you're going to be a dick to me, I'm going to be a dick to you. That's my rule.
It's a good rule to have.
And in the art, like, whether it's Doomsday Clock or something super sexual like Gantz, like, I'm sorry, do women go to the porn shop or go online and order Playboy?
Yeah.
Well, okay, if you're
They go
lesbian,
to porn, like, shops. There's a whole section in porn shops for women.
Yeah, I get that. Why do they have to segregate it like that? Maybe I want something for women.
Well, you can go get it too.
Can I? Am I going to be judged? Are they going to fucking...
No,
maybe I need a masculinity fucking forum to bitch about how my local porn shop does not supply my needs in the masculine section.
What needs do you have?
I don't know.
They got it
I'm
there.
trying to make a fucking point here, dude. Like, it
lube.
doesn't fucking matter.
They've got, like, gradients for dildos if you need it. If you're getting into that sphere.
I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, like Gantz, it's not hentai, but, like, it's super hypersexualized. It's obviously meant for boys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I get it. I connect with it from, like, I'm 32 years old, and, like, I still want to be 16.
You know, here's the crazy thing about this in Japan. There are actually magazines that are for girls and for women. Just
That
like,
do the same thing.
yeah, but obviously the opposite side.
Way.
Like, instead of having, like,
So
all the
do
guys...
the Japanese, I don't want to cut you off, but do the Japanese have the problems with the masculinity, feminism, masculine, I don't know how you say it, but, like, do they have the problems that, like, America seems to have?
That's
number 4.
Take a shot. They probably have it to some degree or another, but they're obviously a lot more... They have a very different culture than ours, and they've gotten theirs to work well enough. And the problem is that the West thinks that their methods of existence are contradictory to how they think the world should be run over here. So they're trying to change it over there to fit their desires. And there are probably things that are an issue over there, because being a housewife is like a really big thing over in Asia. Like, the man goes and works and the woman stays home and tends to the domestic things, which is how it's been for a really long time. But there are also women who are going out and having their own jobs and stuff.
Can we reverse that where, like, I stay home and the woman goes out and earns money?
That is a thing.
I would love it.
You just gotta convince the right woman to do it.
Alright, I gotta talk to Steph. Because I would love that. I'd fucking take care of Kyle, goddamn it.
I
would be fucking doing housework like a motherfucker up in this bitch.
You don't feel that that would degrade your masculinity?
Let me ask you
being a
something.
stay-home at dad?
Do I have something to do during the day?
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't give a shit. Huh?
You just gotta be busy?
Yeah. Ask Stephanie. She'll fucking tell you, like, I do not sit still. Yeah. I take care of... Okay, so I go to work. Let's just fucking talk about this masculine, feminine thing. I go to work. I get up at anywhere from 3:30 a.m. because I started fucking working from 4 to 5:30 before I go to my actual job. From anywhere from 3:30 to 5 a.m. That's my wake-up time. If I just go straight to work, I got to be there by 6, sometimes by 5, depending if we're on 9 or 10 hours. I work from 6, let's say 6 to 2:30. I have errands to run from 2:30 to 3:45. I go and pick up a kid. I come home. I do everything. Load the dishwasher, unload the dishwasher, laundry, fucking lawn mowing, snow removal, everything. Like, that's my thing. But I love it. Like, if I did not do that, I would be going bonkers. Or drinking, which we're just going to throw out there. I'm probably a fucking hardcore alcoholic. Like, not to the point where I'm drinking and going to work, but like...
Do you drink 2 beers a day?
No.
More than 2 beers a day?
No.
Do you drink more than 12 in a week?
On the weekends, yeah.
Then you're a binge drinker.
Yeah.
Which is alcoholism.
Thank you. So I'm an alcoholic.
I've
had 2 of these, 5 of these.
Pointing at 2 tall cans, 2 small cans.
Yeah, I mean, right there. Fuck it. Call it. Like, I know.
Well, technically, after one of these, you're done for a day. These tall cans.
Yeah, I know. And I'm saying that's fucked up. But by the way, I had 2 beers on Wednesday, 1 beer on Thursday, 5 beers, 5, 6, 7, call it 8 beers on Friday. I'm already way past.
Yeah. Well, no, the great thing about it is they say you can have at the max 2 beers every day. So if you have more than that, you're an alcoholic. But if you have 2 beers if you have more than 12 beers in a week, you're an alcoholic. Which, according to the math, if you drink 2 beers a day, you're an alcoholic.
But here's the thing: I already know I'm an addict, so I already know I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, no.
Here's the simple fact. We'll go a little behind the scenes here. Again, 2-Can Rant came about because I slammed 2 tall cans to fucking change the conversation
in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I want to be proud of that, but the next conversation is not going to be proud of that. That's the backstory. I wanted to podcast so bad tonight, and I just kept drinking beers. I had 4.5-ish beers. So I had 6 of these tonight. 4.5-ish beers before you even got here.
Yeah, I was trying to get here at 8 o'clock, but...
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like, we're kosher. Like, it is what it is. But, like, back to the point. Why the fuck do people get so butthurt about shit? Maybe we are snowflakes.
No, that's how you get clicks. That's how you get views. It happens in Doomsday Clock.
Yes, it does. But we need a beer break.
All right.
I'm just saying, I need a beer break.
Beer break.
And we're back. You are listening to the dulcet tones of Two Hand Rant after our beer break.
It's a good break.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Mother or feather fluffers.
Yeah, so sorry about that whole crazy cacophony of words that came out the first hour. I kind of forgot the charger, and so we're just trying to jam everything in. But apparently the battery lasts a little bit longer.
You know what, man? The cacophony of words, not bad. I mean, we mixed in some Gantz, we mixed in some X-Men. Again, you stole, borrowed, whatever, all my X-Men's, so I was like...
You lent them to me.
Reading a lot of number 2s, and I'm like, fuck, I need to read some number 1s to figure out what the fuck's going on.
You could have jumped on some free sites and perused them again.
True that.
Oh, hold on. Why don't you just renew all the free books?
Yeah. Get all the fucking, yeah.
Because then you would have the digital edition every time, and you'd never have...
that again.
And then when you're bored at work, you can get caught up again on what you were...
Yeah, I could redeem my codes and do the stuffs with the stuffs.
Yeah, so that was just your Luddite ass not getting with the times, remembering how stuff works.
You know, it's funny. Yeah. I was just telling Steph, like, I felt like I was really becoming tech savvy. And I'm not so tech savvy with my comic book reading.
All right, so, but on that website thing, did you read that one article I sent you? The whole piracy, digital comics, Donny Cates?
I did not.
It's a huge thing this week.
Fuck. All right. Break it down.
So comic piracy has been a thing that has been happening since comic books were first printed and the internet came about. That's where I read a lot of my manga. And recently there was a big debate because Donny Cates weighed into it, but it was more or less some independent art or independent comic creator. They saw that they had... I don't know, arbitrary number, 60,000 reads of their comic that was 10 issues or something. And they were really angry because they're independents. They're not sponsored by a big corporation. So every one of those reads do not translate into a book bought, a customer. So they...
Dollars.
Yeah, they don't have that money to put food on the table for their kids. Is the argument. And so people are saying that if you are not going to buy it, just don't read it. You don't have a right to read it.
Okay, so what was Donny Cates weighing in on? Was he in agreement with that?
Oh yeah, everybody's in agreement that piracy is a thing that shouldn't happen. But then the counterpoint is, there's a lot of trash that is released. And
okay. Yeah, that's one counterpoint.
Especially with events and stuff.
Yep.
When you read an event, how do you know what you're supposed to read? What's actually going to be integral to the actual story that's being told and what is just filler?
And I feel like you have some pretty recent first-hand experience in that with
Absolute
Carnage.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of issues in there that I'm not going to hook you up with because they're not important whatsoever unless you want the full story. But the actual meat and potatoes of it isn't held in 50% of those stories that you read.
Well, and I kind of noticed that when I was starting to purchase back issues of Darkest Night. I realized there are a lot of Darkest Night books out there, but if you go on the quote-unquote playlists of a lot of the comic people, this is what you need to understand the story. And I would even argue some of the stories they put in there were like, no, I don't really need it, but it was cool. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to the digital thing. So you read a lot of manga online.
Yeah,
due to the translation and then the release to America, and a lot of the stuff you've read wasn't released in America for years with an English translation. Yeah. You found like English translations online, I get that, but like to go to a store and buy it. The other funny thing I find is like, and I know it's not 100% of the case, but I would argue it might even be 50% of the case. Like, you've gone back and bought a lot of that stuff, haven't you? Oh, yeah. Not?
I'm doing that right now with Gantz and with, Fairy Tale. I've done it. Yeah. I'm doing it. Like, I just got the next 5 trades of that because...
It's amazing.
Yeah. Right? And it wasn't available when I was originally buying it or when it came out.
And I myself have read digitally online pirated versions for free because I have them literally coming in the mail, but I want to talk about it for this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about that a couple times.
I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Or like I'm on the road traveling and like I want to reread this issue because I need to talk about it or whatever. I own the copy. I don't have it with me, so I'm going to pirate it.
Or you're literally...
But is it pirating then?
Yeah, well, and that's my argument. So, like, the argument is if you don't buy it, you don't have a right to read it. Okay, that's cool.
But then you could just get the solicitation, or not the solicitations. If it's anything worth reading, there are people who are talking about it, and you can get it pretty much told to you verbatim what happened in the issue. You just don't have the pretty colors to go with it.
There's that.
But you've consumed it in a fashion. And that doesn't translate into a view for that person.
There's that, but there's also even the fact of... So... How many comics have started out as online web comics for free that have turned into something?
One Punch Man.
That's the one example that comes to mind.
But God Hates Astronauts.
Okay. I'm sure you can name a lot. I myself...
No, I think that's the only 2 that I know offhand.
I only recently started reading comics online when you were like, well, if we want to talk about this, here, check this out. You can read it. You know, you have the issue on the way. I also was like cutting out a lot of comics because they became shit. I mean, I'm not following Detective anymore.
Oh, you dropped that finally?
I did.
I dropped that a while ago.
And rightfully so. I guess I was just hoping it would get good. Like, it's hard.
It will again, but...
Well, and Tomasi, like, arguably, I mean, like, he's written good shit. You would hope shit comes around.
I think it's a tumultuous time right now for DC.
During our beer break, we were talking about Spurrier. Like, X-Force is hot shit. The Dreaming Run is, in my opinion, pretty fucking good. I know I read, dropped it.
I dropped it for different reasons.
But, like, it was good.
That was the strongest of all of them.
I still think it's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would agree. Out of all of the Sandman universe, that is the strongest. I mean...
Except Hellblazer? Is that part of it? That's going to be the strongest?
Well, I mean, it just started, so... And again, that's Spurrier, too.
Yeah. Well, no. See, that's the thing. I don't get what the animosity towards him is. Unless it's just based off that one X-Force thing.
I mean,
Well, like
that
I've
was
said,
pretty bad.
I've said some of his right. In the Constantine thing, he's Superior's doing that too.
Constant thing.
Constantine, the Hellblazer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I'm pretty sure that's who it is.
Does he have that weird stuttering?
Look.
Nonsense.
Yeah, kind of the ...
Yeah,
the first one.
ellipses. Well,
First
yeah, it's
one.
both of them.
Yep. Yeah, he does a lot of ellipses.
He's got to transition out of that.
Yeah.
That's real vexing. The ellipses and the stuttering, like every emotion, happiness, fear, sadness, excitement, trepidation, is all
Never noticed that until you said it.
No, it's on all of his things. It's
No, you
very
say that.
jarring.
Yeah.
I really am not a fan of that. But like the stories telling, they're woven well. Just the dialogue aspects is kind of irritating. Like the Dr. Aphra run has been really good, and he's on that. It's like
You're
one of the.
still following that, huh?
Well, yeah, because I got the Marvel Unlimited, so every time that comes out, I read Dr. Aphra.
Yep.
And it's amazing. It's fun. She and I forgot what the robot is, the Dark C-3PO, they've got these bombs in them.
Yep.
And if they get far enough away, they're going to detonate. And so they're trying to find a doctor that will remove the bomb from them. It's pretty epic. And the robot dude is sadistic. Have you read it?
Yeah.
Some of it? Yeah.
I've read like the first 20,
Oh yeah,
30
so
issues.
he's like a psychopath murderer. Yeah, Dr. Aphra went and found his memory chip.
Between the dark C-3PO and the dark R2-D2, it's pretty interesting, yeah.
Oh yeah. I think the dark R2-D2 died.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But no, I sent you that one picture of which C-3PO standing on like the corpses of a bunch of people.
Yep. Yeah, he is fucking sadistic as fuck, dude. Like, that is a fun ride. Like, just to see, like... It's almost like the weird world of Star Wars main characters? Sure.
The Elseworlds?
Like, the Elseworlds. I mean, you think about it. I mean, you could argue Dr. Aphra's kind of like, almost like a Princess Leia character. Not like the princess aspect, but like, you have this, like, good... and C-3PO, or maybe like a Luke character, versus like kind of on the dark CD side of things, almost like a Han Solo.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. She's a Han Solo, a female Han Solo.
Yeah. I was trying to compare her to something, Yeah.
All right.
Trying to appease the feminists. Anyway.
So that was the one thing that we didn't talk about last time in regards to Watchmen and Doomsday Clock, was that inverse correlation Elseworlds aspect of it that you actually blew my mind with when we were talking about it.
Okay.
How all of the Watchmen, or all the characters in the Watchmen, are supposed to represent somebody from the DC universe.
Yeah.
And you had dropped something about Lex Luthor you assumed was... Or Dr. Manhattan and Lex Luthor were like the same person, I believe, is how it was.
But I almost want to rephrase that as Lex Luthor and Veet. Or not Veet. Yeah. What's his nuts? Is it Veet? Who's it? Like, let's talk about issue 5. Veet's in the hospital, right? That's Veet with the cat?
Asmodeus? Asmodeus, however you say it.
But it's Veet. I think that's his, like... I kind of wanted to compare them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I see that.
And they actually have conversations together. Like, Veet goes... Asmodeus, like...
I like how you call him by his real person name.
Asmodeus, or Asimondius, or... Fuck you guys. Veet goes and talks to Luthor and gets his ass kicked and ends up in a hospital.
Well, that's because the comedian showed up.
Yeah. You might almost compare Manhattan to Superman in this like idea that... Okay, let's go back a minute. So I blew your mind with this. Why did I blow your mind with this?
Well, no, now you're reversing it, because there's a theory going on that Doctor Manhattan or Lex Luthor is Doctor Manhattan,
Okay.
and I never saw that. But you apparently had seen it initially, but as time has progressed, you changed your viewpoint on it.
Well,
Because I thought it was Superman too. Doctor Manhattan was Superman,
yeah.
and I thought Rorschach was Batman.
Yep. And
But
I'm pretty sure I called that one.
Yep.
We agreed on that.
But you were saying Night Owl was somebody different, and Silk Spectre was somebody else, and
Yeah.
the comedian.
I don't think. Oh yeah, the comedian. Who did I compare him to?
I don't remember. I would say he's like a Deadshot.
And I almost thought of him as like a Joker, kind of like a wild card type
The
thing.
comedian? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, the Manhattan and Lex Luthor thing, like, and maybe my view has changed from reading Justice League, like, just everything going on in there, like.
I don't know. Right now, Apex Luthor could be Manhattan.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Are you still reading that?
Yeah. Maybe Veet's like a Superman then.
You think?
I don't know. Like, Veet was the one, or Asmondus, like, that was the one I had troubles, like, placing. But, like, I feel like there is a parallel between them, almost like in Justice League right now, and, like, I guess there is a direct correlation because the Justice Society of America became the Justice League at some point with these newer characters, like, you know, Flash is like connecting with like old school Justice Society Flash, and everybody's got their like quote unquote connections. Not everybody, but I kind of felt like Doomsday Clock was doing that, especially like if you read Watchmen, it's really a commentary on. It's a commentary on like these superheroes, like. I almost want to say it's poking fun at, like, the whole thing. Like, Alan Moore's kind of like, you guys are doing this thing over here, but look at what you could be doing type thing. Like, not a one-upping, but, like, a commentary on it / twisting it into a fucked up thing. Like, when I hated Batman, and I still have my problems with Batman, like, there is an argument to be said that Batman, like, saves a certain amount of people, but, like, what about all the other people? Like, dealing with other shit? Like, Batman saves him from the Joker, but, like, what about Batman saving from the other stuff? Like, where is Batman during these fires, or during these terrorist attacks, or during this or that, and I know that's been an argument, like, I'm not the first person to say this. I'm pretty sure I've watched videos or heard stuff about that type of stuff, but, like, I almost feel like the original Watchmen was kind of a commentary on that, like, how fucked up it could be when these people, these quote-unquote superheroes, because Ozymandias at one time was like the quote-unquote ideal superhero of that world. Am I wrong?
No, that sounds about right.
Okay. And then he unleashes this fucking...
Space alien.
Yeah. This atrocity upon the world, which then you go into Doomsday Clock, and, like, that is what the crux of this is. Like, they're not trusting the superheroes anymore. So it's the aftermath of Watchmen. Even though in Watchmen, like, at that point they were almost starting to turn on it. It's almost like DC's like, oh yeah, we'll poke fun at ourselves. Like, there's a lot of parallels here to the DC universe, and Doomsday Clock is getting into the universe. I just haven't, like, linked them all together.
I don't think they're poking fun at their universe or their continuity. They're trying to analyze it and explain it better. Like especially with modern times, which I think the Watchmen was doing, because it's very interesting to have these characters and these ideas running around doing things, but at a certain point, people's understanding of storytelling shifts and they start asking more questions, and you wonder why those characters are doing certain things. I mean, the entire point of fandom is to like talk about these stories, and when somebody does something and it's a plot hole, you try to figure out, well, why don't they do that?
I just want to pause for a minute and then you can continue. I don't think people discuss the stories in a discussion format like we do. Like, I feel you and I, and we've come to many places where we don't agree, but we can have an intelligent conversation about the thing. That is what comics is meant for. Whether you go back to the Sunday Funnies or manga or anything, I think it's art in general is a conversation.
Thank you. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, just in general, entertainment. Yeah,
art, like, that's what it's meant to do. It's conversation, not beating someone into submission till they agree with you. It's a conversation.
It's called propaganda.
Exactly. Like, a prime example is you and I, like, I enlightened you to Doomsday Clock. You enlightened me to a lot of stuff in Gantz tonight. Like,
I think I got more too, but
yeah, I'm sorry if I cut you short. Like, again, if he wasn't here, you wouldn't be listening. That, in my mind, is art in general. Because when you go, like, art, most people think of paintings, drawings, things of that nature, right?
It's switched a bit,
When you go to an art gallery, it's people drinking and talking.
And eating cheese.
Well, fuck. I'm gonna get a cheese board down here next week, motherfucker.
Cheese, crackers, and meat.
Toucan Rant is that.
We stepped it up.
We drink and we talk about art. Comic books, although viewed as a childish thing, it is art.
Well, no, that was one of the things about Watchmen.
Literature is art.
That shifted it from being just a kiddie thing to something that is recognized, because it was the first graphic novel to ever make it on to #1 on the whatever...
The New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
But before that, comics were looked at as just for kids.
Yep.
Even though it's a media that has been used for a very long time, that has been telling nothing that is kid-friendly at times.
I'm sorry, but Garfield tells a story. I'm not saying something.
Yeah.
It's fucking Garfield.
About a schizophrenic guy who lives alone and sees a cat and a dog. Which I'm excited for with to happen in Spencer and Lockie.
Yeah.
Super excited.
Man, okay, so let's stay on task here. Doomsday Clock. So we were talking about the parallels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, blew your mind. Continue.
Well, now you've like kind of gone back on it, so my mind is unblown.
I still feel like Lex Luthor is Manhattan. At least a representation of him. I didn't mean to get that way, but like I'm starting to see Luthor crack in Justice League, and I'm like, because Manhattan is quote unquote God at this point.
Yeah, like Superman.
Yeah.
But the interesting parallel, the thing that I'm really digging about Doomsday Clock is the whole Superman theory. About how all these superheroes, the metahuman gene was engineered by the government. And regular people are trying to figure out how to coexist with countries creating super weapons that can be implemented to destroy everyone. But you pretty much just have to trust them as being good people.
Yeah, and that's first introduced in this is, it's mentioned in issue 4, but issue 5 it definitely comes to the forefront.
With Black Adam doing his thing.
Yep. Yep.
But there was an inciting incident before this, right? That started raising it, or did we just come into the Doomsday clock with the tensions raised already?
This is where I get confused again. Like, you could argue Veet, but like this is a Veet unleashing the alien, but this is a different Earth. I don't know. In the previous issues, I don't remember anything crazy happening.
No, just everyone was angry at superheroes.
Yeah, they were starting to get angry. It just was there from the get-go.
Because Lex Luthor was saying Superman theory, metahuman genes, blah, blah, blah. Yep. We can't trust superheroes, which is what he's been doing forever. That's his entire thing. Like, you can't trust Superman because he's not human. He's an alien from another planet, and we're only trusting him because he says he defends truth, justice, and the American way. But
which is funny because Lex Luthor in Justice League eats Martian Manhunter and becomes
eats him.
Well, okay, that I'm just
assimilates him.
I'm just like paraphrasing. Oh. I say eats, you say assimilate. Tomato, tomato. Like all of a sudden, Martian Manhunter is part of Lex Luthor. Martian Manhunter is definitely not. Oh, I mean, he's alien. 1, 2, like that's definitely
he's a
metahuman gene, just like Superman. Superman's technically a Martian.
No, he's a Kryptonian.
Okay, well, he's still an alien.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can agree to disagree on the technical terms, but like at the end of the day, it's kind of funny that in this. He's like, whoa, all these fucking metahumans and fuck the, Yeah, but he kind of was that way before in Justice League, too. He's always been kind of fighting towards that.
Yeah, he's been fighting for that, but he never had become
But this came before Justice League.
Yeah.
You were just about to say that.
Yeah.
So here's my deal. What the fuck is going on in the DC universe? You got this... which, in my opinion, is pretty fucking big, even though they delayed it, and whatever. But, like, if there's something you ask DC, hey, Mr. DC fan on the street, how you doing today? What's your favorite comic? Boom! I feel like Doomsday Clock's going to come up.
At some point in time, yeah.
At some point in time. You think it comes under Justice League?
What?
Metal? All that shit?
Oh, Doomsday Clock? No, I think this is something entirely different. I don't think this had anything to do with metal whatsoever. I think the reason it got delayed is because of whatever is going on. Yeah. And like as I was saying, like a long time ago, or in this episode, there's a bunch of issues going on. Like DC's kind of tumultuous at the minute because I think they're gearing up for another crisis.
Yeah.
Based on what I've heard.
Yeah. I mean, it seems apparent. There's way too much shit going on at this point.
Yeah. So, all the titles that are coming out will be erased at some point.
Let me ask you this. Doomsday Clock. Holding them in my hand. Love number 5, number 6. Covers are great. 6 really gets into Marionette and Mime.
That was my favorite issue of this entire thing. I forgot how much that was.
Yeah, that was really good. I gotta. I had to bring that up. Like Marionette and Mime, that whole thing. I haven't read 7 and 8 yet, but like, if I remember correctly, they don't come up a whole hell of a lot after 7. I think 7 they're kind of involved yet, and then after that they kind of disappear for a minute.
Well, no, this entire, like in 6 or whatever, they have all the villains like creating their new fucking guild or whatever. Those guys disappear. What I'm saying. Yeah, but all those villains and stuff, they disappear too.
Yeah, like that whole thing.
Yeah, there's all these weird side tangent things that never actually get explored.
Yeah. And I mean, 5, you're really exploring Luthor, Veet. They're both in the hospital. That much I got. You got the Dude Man who all of a sudden comes across the Green Lantern, becomes the Green Lantern. And you also have, well, you assume he becomes Green Lantern. And you also have the comedian.
Who is badass.
Yeah.
It was good to actually see him doing awesome shit.
Well, but in 6, he's quote unquote dead.
In 6 he dies. What?
Yeah, he gets shot in 6.
No, he didn't die.
Well, we don't
He
know.
maybe he gets
We don't know what happens.
He gets shot.
At the very end, yeah.
Oh, he gets electrocuted. The Joker electrocutes him.
Is it electrocution?
Yeah, he's got the little buzzer on his left hand. Yeah. He doesn't get shot. He just gets incapacitated. Yeah.
Is it incapacitated? Or is he dead?
Well, apparently you can't kill the comedian because he died already.
Yeah.
In The Watchmen, and you didn't actually get to see him doing anything.
But this is a different Earth.
He got teleported out of Watchmen universe and brought to the DC universe when he was falling.
Did he?
That's what he said. When Dr. Manhattan shifted over, that somehow messed with the time continuity, and he got brought to DC proper.
What issue did he say that in?
3 or 4? I don't know.
Okay, I missed it.
I actually will probably have to sit down and read these again.
Oh, yeah.
Just before 12 drops, so I'm 100% understanding what's going on.
I'm probably going to wait till I have 12 in my possession and then read the whole fucking shit.
In one go.
Yep. Which, again, I mentioned this earlier, like, do I just stop buying single floppies and buy trades? I hate waiting, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a much longer wait.
This was bad, but you think about, like, even Justice League, like, they wait 8 issues. Like,
is it 8 to make a trade?
6?
I think it's 6.
Even if you say 6, like, they stop double shipping, so you're going to wait at least 8 months.
For it to come out. Yeah, because I was looking at something called No One Left to Fight, which just finished its 5th issue. And I think it's being compiled into a trade. But it's not coming out till March.
Of 2020?
Yeah. That's a long time to wait just for the trade.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I can buy singles. Like, we probably can, but I'd have to go online and hope they're there. And depending on how
I have a website
is.
you might like.
Midtown?
No.
Yeah. Oh.
No.
Ooh, a new secret site.
No, it's a different site that I pick up some number ones off of once in a while because Midtown, because of how popular Midtown is, they don't have a lot of number ones. But, like, if I missed out on, like, the beginning of something, once in a while I can find it on there.
Oh. Well, I was just going to get it digitally.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to.
I spent a half an hour trying
Just
to friggin' figure out how to get my Comicsology and my Amazon thing to understand each other.
You have Comicsology?
Yeah, it's free. To have the app, to have comics.
Oh, yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough. I mean, if my Kindle would ever fire up again, I got Comicsology too.
Well, so that might be if you want other comics, that Comicsology Unlimited might be better than the Marvel.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure I had to have the Comicsology app to get, at the time, the codes for the Marvel, but now they have the Marvel app, so it's different. When I first started, reading comics again, and they had the codes, I'm pretty sure I had to have the Comicsology app. Somehow I feel like I had that, because I know it's on my Kindle. I'm pretty sure you redeemed it at Marvel.com, and then you got it on the Comicsology app. My guess is now they changed that.
So it goes to the Marvel.
I would assume. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never redeemed a Marvel comic.
Yeah. I like it, there's like 2 ways to read it where you can like read a full page by full page. But like the other way you can read it is panel by panel.
Fuck that. I get so angry at that.
The panel by panel?
Yeah. Oh, that frustrates me so much.
That blows my mind considering you are Mr. Page Turn. Like, that removes the whole page turn thing. Like, now, I open up Doomsday Clock. And instead of seeing all 9 panels, because you can't lie. When you fucking turn the page, you take in the whole page before you fucking focus in on that first panel.
Right.
Now I'm seeing just that. You know what I wish?
I don't want to read my comics via a PowerPoint slideshow.
You know what I wish, though? At the end of it, like, of a page, they showed you the whole page.
But that's the point of it.
No.
Because each page with all the panel stuff, that is a piece of art in and of itself. That is the format.
The panel layout.
Yeah,
I get that.
The format. And no, and if you're just going frame by frame by frame by frame, you're missing the actual context that the panels, that the stories are being told through.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, necessarily.
I would argue
because this is the same size as this.
Hold on. Let me explain that more. I think in certain comics, yes, it does make a difference.
The comics that you want to be reading, it's supposed to be done that way.
I mean, I want to read House and Powers of X, and I want to read X-Men, but like, there's times where I'm like looking at the other page, and you know.
Yeah. When you do a full page spread where you got multiple different panels, like
no,
that are interwoven together.
If I remember correctly, like if there's anything interwoven like that, it does that too.
Imagine reading that one trippy ass Swamp Thing where all the panels sort of weave together. And they're just doing one aspect by one aspect by one aspect.
Let me rephrase it. Have you ever read on that app?
In that issue?
Not that issue specifically, but I'm saying like.
Oh, I've seen the panel by panel by panel thing, and I said just before that it infuriates me to no end.
But they don't always do panel by panel by panel. It depends on what the context of the thing is. To me, it's almost like, in my experience with it, like if there's something that splashes over into the next thing, or it's one of those, like, for example, the Swamp Thing, where you're like, literally it's one big panel and you're reading around the whole thing, it is displayed as such. It's almost like a curated version of the comic from the writer.
I don't think the writer has any say in how the algorithm is put in, or how they choose it.
It's not an algorithm.
It seriously could be an algorithm, though.
I mean,
Blank
I guess
space.
it could be, but I don't know. All right,
I don't know.
I'm gonna go download that issue, and
See
I'll report back to you.
All right.
Let me know what issue it is.
I am not the Swamp Thing.
The other
like,
thing I was
aficionado.
gonna say is like Mr. Miracle is a perfect example where that would be a good one to download and see, because
no, that's the worst example of it.
No, it's not.
No, it is completely the worst, because yes, there are individual panels that are portraying a certain thing.
There's also times where it splashes over.
Yeah.
So my question would be, does it splash over as appropriately, or is it split? Because if it splashes over as appropriately and it displays 2 or 3 at a time, you would say, yeah, maybe it's not an algorithm. If it just separates those, that's what I'm saying, is like a fucking litmus test. I'm not saying it would be great to read panel by panel by panel by panel by panel.
But that's what that version, that dynamic view...
It doesn't always do that. I'm arguing it doesn't always do that, motherfucker.
And I'm
Back the fuck
and
up!
I'm arguing that it does. It removes the actual reading experience.
Bullshit! How much it... You fucking preface this all with, I haven't read that much that way.
But I have read some.
Some.
But I stopped reading it. Just like I don't listen to country music. I've listened to some, but it doesn't entail to me. Same way I've eaten like some really spicy food.
Have you read something in a comic the way it was meant to be read and also read panel by panel? The same issue. And compared them. Have you?
I guess I have not, no. I've read...
Okay, thank you.
I've started reading stuff that way and said, no, this is not how I want to read it. This isn't how it was created and meant to be read.
Okay, well, that's like both of us in saying I'm not going to download a fucking Kindle book and read it on the screen. I'm going to buy the real book. I mean, that's a whole fucking different conversation.
But I've read Kindle books.
Okay.
I've read books on computers,
You
on
like
tablets. That? It's a way to read it.
Okay, but do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like I've read comics.
All right, well,
in
I would
both
argue
formats.
differently, but it's fine.
No, argue. That's the point.
No, I'm good. I don't
It's
have
the first time the rant has ended.
Well, no, I don't have any more. I don't have any. Like, I'm trying to be more succinct with my rants. Like, I don't have anything more to convince you otherwise at this point in time. If I do, I will bring it back up.
Okay. So now we got to find the trippy ass issue of Swamp Thing and see how they do it.
It's somewhere in Saga. I'm gonna guess trade 4 or 5. I'll go through it.
Yeah,
it's pretty deep into the saga. Not like it's a deep issue. I mean, it is, but Swamp Thing's fucking shit.
I just don't think the beats are the same.
It depends. I don't know. Okay, to be fair, a lot of the shit I read was X-Men, so maybe...
But, like, on this last page of number 6, this first panel with the Joker zapping the comedian is prominent. It's meant to take up a lot more time. Your viewing time. You're supposed to take it in. The next 2 beats of Mime and Marionette is a quick shot. Quick snap. Another quick snap of the Joker picking it up. And then it's quicker, the same pace as those other 2. And then this one is smaller with the button, because it's just focusing on a specific detail. But when you're looking at it, when it's going by panel to panel, these are going to be similar sizes. And you're going to be similar.
Not in my experience.
This one's going to be slightly bigger. This is going to be slightly smaller. But
I don't know. My thing was like, this would be a full page. This would be like, or a full screen. This would be like the same size, but on the screen. And then, I don't know. Maybe I don't remember it.
And then I also didn't like that they would show you the picture, then they'd show you the dialogue.
Oh, I didn't have that.
Yeah, some of them do that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Picture,
I agree
dialogue.
with. Okay, I'll agree with you on that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got to say about Doomsday?
6 is the best one of all of them. Marionette and Mine's backstory.
But has nothing to do with the Superman effect. Or Superman, whatever.
Theory?
Thank you.
Not really. Is there any backsplashes? No, that all happened in 5. Well, no, it's the villains trying to figure out how they're going to react. Because all the villains from the stars, anyone who had the ability to get off planet at this moment was getting off planet.
Yep.
Or getting out of the thing. But the villains are still stuck in this crazy... Well, I don't really get...
Is it because they're not superhuman?
Who?
The villains?
No, they are.
Are they?
Some of them are.
Who?
The cheetah chick, whoever the big giant person is definitely.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to pick a fight at this point. Sorry.
Well, no, that's what they're doing. They're trying to cull the members of their ranks, those who do have the superhero power, which maybe is why the villains in some of these things are more interesting, because they don't actually have superpowers, but they're contesting superheroes.
The depictions of them are pretty cool too. Like, I like the Riddler. Like, it was not the normal Riddler that I was used to seeing, I guess.
Which one are you used to seeing? The one from New 52 where he's got the question mark tattoo on his chest?
I don't know. He just seemed bulkier than all the, he seems like buff.
Yeah. This picture panel for sure. He doesn't have the hat.
Yeah, that's true too. I didn't even think about that.
He needs the hat.
He lost it. Dr. Manhattan stole it, ate it up with his dick. That's where we're at, folks. Sorry.
The thing that kind of sucks about this is I don't think it's going to have the same lasting power as The Watchmen. Like, it's a fun read.
Okay, hold on. Let's back up. Say that again? You don't think it's going to have the same
lasting impact? Like, I think it's a good read. It's fun and everything, but it doesn't have the same depth.
Let me ask you. Did you expect it to?
Yeah.
Really?
Kind of. The way people the way people were talking about it when it was first coming out, it felt as if this was going to be a game changer.
I'm sorry. What's our Twitter? Because I'm gonna say something controversial.
I think it's 2_rant.
Okay, at 2_rant. I don't even expect anything DC or Marvel does to ever be everlasting.
What about Mr. Miracle?
No.
No, it's going to stand the test of time.
Hold on.
Watchmen was by DC too. So was Saga of Swamp Thing.
Vertigo.
It's DC.
But it's Vertigo.
But it's DC.
But it's Vertigo. Here's the thing. When you
Who owns it? Who owns it?
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I'm sorry, but like Johnsonville makes sausages for all sorts of people. Walmart, all the way up to the Johnsonville brand. The Walmart sausages taste different than the Johnsonville brand. It just is what it is. When you put this DC with the circle around it logo on your book, you are confining yourself to a certain parameter. Let's call it a parameter. So in Watchmen, that was all original. Everything within that, while you may be able to draw parallels now, which I did then, which then is like a year or two ago. So, but like you read that and I don't know about you the first time you read Watchmen, but did you not make comparisons?
No, I did.
Like, oh, this is like
you just
Batman.
You just made like different ones, and the one that you had made.
So
in the argument.
It was a commentary on DC. I don't care what anybody says.
Satire or whatever.
That was a commentary on DC.
It was on
commentary,
comics
satire,
in general.
Maybe not like a commentary. Yeah, okay. Thank you. On comics in general. I'll give you that. Okay. So, because Alan Moore created those characters and it was released on Vertigo, he could do whatever he wanted because it was a creator-owned property.
No, it's not.
Okay. Maybe I don't understand it. Whatever.
He doesn't own it. That's why he's pissed about them making movies and TV shows in this comic and the before Watchmen. Because those are his characters that he created, but he doesn't own them.
It's not continuity. You can do whatever the fuck you want. That's just like Black Label right now. They're like, oh yeah, it's the Wild Wild West. When you fucking put this fucking shit on the cover of your book, it has to fit in with everything else going on.
No, it doesn't have to.
Yes, it does.
No, because you got the White Knight. That will stand the test of time.
Black Label.
But you're saying it has to fit into this entire thing, and you just said blah, 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 Dan Didio, as if to negate.
When you say DC...
But
not
Black Label.
DC Black Label.
But that's DC.
Not DC. I fuck my fucking mom on every fucking Saturday night. Not DC fuck. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Not DC Vertigo. I understand DC owns all these companies, but when you say I'm DC, period, done, question mark.
But you got The Killing Joke. You've got Hush. You got The Death of Superman. You got Blackest Night.
DC.
These are things that are going to stand the test of time, that are going to be like pivotal moments, important things that you can read them at any certain point in time. This, despite how well written it is just gonna be a blip at the end of it.
Oh, if you want to go that route, yeah, I totally agree.
That's what I've been saying the whole time.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, as far as, I thought you were talking about the ability to make it something great.
No, it was supposed to be.
Yeah. And then just... metal happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, folks.
But it's fun.
Don't fuck your mom.
If you're coming here for that information, you've dug very deep.
I'm just saying, like... You fucking throw this DC label on shit, and then all of a sudden you gotta fucking follow all these rules. Watchmen was able to make... This comic book is a commentary on the fucking Superman thing. Not the superhero thing. This is supposed to be, in my opinion, a fucking commentary on how superheroes can get out of control and that society can rise up and start to question them. They are not all knowing. They are fallible. This is supposed to poke holes in that.
Except Batman. He's infallible.
I'm making an argument right now. You shut the fuck up. This is supposed to question. And I honestly think this is a continuation from Watchmen. You are supposed to question the authority, the superheroes, the people protecting you. You need to question that. Okay? This is all going to be overshadowed by metal, which is cool. Like, I dug it. Like, I get it. But, like, what came out of that, I could do without.
But are you actually questioning those that are supposed to be protecting you?
I do. I hate cops. Fuck the police. I question firefighters.
What's wrong with firefighters?
Well, some of them do questionable shit. I know a firefighter, and I wouldn't want him to fight a fire on my house, because he's fucking lazy as shit.
Have you seen him when he's actually fighting a fire? Like, is he willing to run into a burning building to rescue someone?
Well, he's not allowed to, because the one time he failed miserably. So now he directs traffic.
Oh, that's important too. Insofar as he's not directing traffic into a burning house.
Okay.
He's doing a good job.
You're fucking getting too deep into this. Because I'm just, like, coming to this realization here that this is a serious commentary on questioning authority.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I don't trust my government. I'm Mr. Tinfoil Hat over here.
Are you now?
I don't have a gun, but I am Mr. Tinfoil Hat.
I do have one quick thing in there. It's fun that they show Putin, but they don't show Donald Trump.
Oh, dude, I wish. I fucking wish. Well, here's the problem with that. Well, no, it's within his 4 years.
Yeah,
it's funny.
No,
well, you don't want to fuck with the president, man.
No,
you don't want to fuck with the president.
They had no issue showing Clinton and anything, showing Bush and stuff, showing Obama and stuff.
Money, money, money.
Yeah, but if they throw Trump in here, you know how much money Trump makes just by donators? There's a guy I work with who gives at least $100 every single week.
Does he
to the
read
Trump
comics?
campaign. If Trump was in it, he might buy a comic.
Not necessarily.
Well, not if they're showing him in an ill light.
Maybe.
I think Trump would have some interesting things to say in regards to Doomsday Clock.
Okay, do you want any tacos?
Yeah? That's a weird question. Do you want to eat the greatest food in existence?
Hold on. You might want to pause this. Sorry, guys. We got to take a taco break here.
First
I
one
got to
ever.
order some tacos. We got our tacos. This is a commentary on the fucking questioning the fucking authority. And I fucking love it. That much I fucking love.
Wait, so you love it now?
I mean, it sucks in the fact that I've had to wait, 2 years?
Yeah.
And I got on late. That's saying something, folks. I got on late.
Not that late, though.
But, I'm still pissed. You're right. It is completely overshadowed.
Yeah, especially
Because if you think about it in the history of things and the events, this is not going to have any lasting impact. It's super fucking interesting. The parallels, the fucking questioning authority, that whole ideal.
And this is a very slow-paced kind of event book. Just the writing style. And not as... It doesn't have the same spectacle.
Would you argue it's entertaining?
Oh, no, of course it's entertaining.
Jeff Johns.
It's more entertaining than
Fucking Johns, dude.
a lot of what's going on. So you hear Hickman's trying to get canceled? He's trying to get kicked off of...
X-Men?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
He said it. He himself has said he is trying to get kicked off of X-Men. Jonathan Hicks' Twitter from last week or the week before. November 26th. If you're unhappy with me writing X-Men, I want you to listen closely. I'm doing everything I can every single day to get fired. They just won't do it. And my question to you is, what has he been doing that's so bad that, or controversial, that people would be pissed at him? Because I don't know anything about X-Men, really. But everything he's been doing has been pretty cool. I mean, the island fucking was a little bit weird.
Alright, well, this was Toucan Rant. You can fucking... No, oh, fuck, man. You just fucking blew my mind. I didn't know that even happened. I don't know. Wow. Maybe that's why some of this shit sucks.
Wait, it sucks?
I mean...
Wait, did stuff happen in the twos? That wasn't so good?
It just doesn't move.
Well, yeah, they gotta push more issues. Get you invested. It's that whole, next time it'll happen. Next time it'll happen. Next time it'll happen. And then you miss, the little things that are happening.
Since apparently Midtown listens, maybe Disney will listen. Hickman, fuck you, dude. Why you gotta do this to me?
What, trying to get fired?
I wanted him... Well, maybe that says something about Marvel.
No.
If he's trying to get fired, you gotta question, why do you want to get fired?
Well, no, so I don't know. He says to all the people who are mad at me for writing the X-Men, if you're unhappy with me writing X-Men, I want you to listen closely. He's doing everything he can to get fired. Does that mean that he is continuing to tell the story that he wants to tell to the best of his ability that a lot of people are actually liking. And there are just some people who are hating on him because he's shifting things, or is he like legitimately trying to get fired? Like he's just throwing the craziest fucking ideas out there and like just trying to see. Yeah, like you guys gonna let me have Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Cyclops rooms all connected, so they're having a menage a trois every night.
Orgy.
Yeah, giant orgy. We got our fucking islands fucking each other. Kill Professor X in issue number 1. Of some offshoot comic that maybe not everyone's reading.
Did you read the issue where the aliens are literally fucking?
Yeah, that was X-Men 2.
What was it?
That was the one that like hurt my head. Not because it was bad or anything, but they just dropped a bunch of shit that has crazy potentials, and I don't get what :A::. Number 5, take a shot.
Here's what I'm gonna say.
It would be really fun to actually have a drinking game going on with shots.
No. You should have a drinking game. You should, because I'm drunk. Here's what I'm gonna say. Cause I'm fucking pissed now, and I gotta fucking pee, and I gotta, yeah. Fuck you, Hickman. If you mean this in a joking way, like, aha, you're never gonna fire me because I'm so great, great. If you mean it like you're really trying to get fired because Marvel sucks and you're gonna go do Swamp Thing, great. If you mean it anything outside of those two things, wait, no, hold on. If you mean it, Marvel sucks so bad and you want to go fucking fix Hellblazer, great. If it's anything outside of those three things, fuck you. This is Toucan Rant. You are listening to the motherfucking angry tones of Toucan Rant. We are just two toucans with two tall cans who can rant because we got two motherfucking tall cans. I'll tip my microphone over, motherfucker. You got anything to say, buddy?
You got it all figured out.
We'll see you next week.
Number 6, motherfucker!
We'll see you next week.
While you're speaking into the guard, not the actual
with
microphone.
Another edition of Toucan Rant.
Well, not next week.
This is... Oh, yeah, I got a wedding next week.
Yeah, and I got work.
Sweet. You'll see us in 2 weeks, motherfuckers!